Hi everyone, before we jump into this week's episode, there's something I want to show you. Now whenever I make a project that doesn't quite go to plan but still turns out great, I see a lot of comments saying it's just a happy little accident. Now this got me thinking, since it does happen a fair bit, I decided to make myself a shirt. Do you like it? It's got me on the back pouring some resin using my favourite colours. And on the front, it's got the new logo sitting on the map of Australia. Now in addition to the Happy Little Accident shirt, I've also designed one with the big logo on the front here, so if you guys are interested in any of these, I'll leave a link in the description of where you can find them. Now to celebrate the release of these shirts, let's see if we can make a happy little accident, but on purpose. So I said that I wanted to create a happy little accident, but do it on purpose. It seems a little strange, but I wanted to give it a go. I got myself a pop here. It just so happens to be Bob Ross. He was really hard to find too. I had to get this one second hand. So let me explain how I'm going to do this one. I got myself a 3-litre container and I'm going to pour myself a base layer. Once that's cured, we'll stick Bob Ross on top. Then we'll fill the rest of it up with resin. Now that's a lot of resin. That's way above the manufacturer's specs. So we should be able to generate a lot of heat. Now that's where I'm hoping we get our happy little accident, because if there's enough heat, we might be able to melt this figure. Now I've seen a lot of videos getting around where these pops have a brain inside. Now I don't know if that's real or fake, but if we can manage to melt a bit of the skull away, we might actually see something. So I know that sounds a little mean, but I've been wanting to try this for a while now. So hopefully we can get this resin to expose the brain. But before we do that, we need to pour our base layer. Always make sure that you scrape your sides and your bottom, that way you don't have any unmixed resin left behind, because if you do, it won't harden and it'll just stay soft. I've mixed up 400 mils for this base layer, so that'll leave us about 2.5 litres to pour over the top. Now I'm going to go pop this in the pressure pot until it cures. Now I'm not going to run pot cam for this one. We'll wait until we got Bob in there. So now that's all nice and hard, it's time to stick on Bob. How cool does he look? I'm going to glue him down by using some UV resin. Now you'll notice that I'm going to stick him a little off center. Now there's a good reason for that, and I'll explain a bit later. Now I'll just cure it by using the UV torch. It's now time to mix up the next batch of resin, and as you can see, we need a lot of it, so I'm going to have to act fast. Once it's all mixed, I'll put it into the container, and then I want to put the container inside the vacuum chamber. I'm only going to do that for about a minute, just in case there's any air inside a bob. Just the right amount of resin. That was a lot of air coming out of Bob's head. I'd love to have left it in a bit longer, but we're already starting to heat up, so we need to get this under pressure. Now, because it's such a large casting, we're going to have to stick it in Freddy. I think this is the most nervous I've ever been opening a pot. I really hope this worked. No way. Well, that's absolutely blown my mind. The heat inside of that pot must have been insane. I cast this 5 hours ago and it still feels so hot. Let's check to see how hot it still is. It's still 50 degrees. That's insane. Apart from his hair changing colour, nothing happened. I thought at the very least his little paint palette would melt. After having a closer look, it does look like the palette's warped a little bit and his face looks a little sunburnt. I'm hoping you guys got to see that on PotCam. Well, unfortunately we didn't get our happy little accident like we were hoping for, but that's okay. I'm going to pull it out of the mould, give it a clean up and stick it back in the box. Wow, it's so warm. That is one big chunk of resin. Well, after showing Nicole, she suggested that maybe we try and melt it in the microwave. What do you guys think? Do you reckon it's going to work? I think if it doesn't melt, we'll definitely get some fractures. Surely something happened this time. Wow, still nothing. I wonder how hot it is. Wow, nearly 100 degrees Celsius. And still nothing. Well, unfortunately today's episode didn't quite go to plan, but he still looks pretty cool. Now don't forget, if you guys want to help support the channel, you can do by buying some of the new shirts. They're available in a full range of sizes and colours. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can find them. Well, that's all for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.